If there's a burnout contest, I'm getting in it. I'm in it to win it. And if I do get in it, I will win it. Every stop at the gas station is a car show because somebody will come over and ask about the car. What's in it? What does it have? What's powering it? Oh, it's a big V8. Well, it's a big old V8. It's a big one. And that's how we get the tires to smoke like we do. When I was about 5 years old, my mother was hanging clothes on the line outside, and we had 37 Ford, and I stood up and stuck my foot on that starter button. Well, Mom had left the car in gear, so when I hit the starter, it lurched, and she came running and screaming toward the car, and I think it was that moment that sparked my desire to make people sit up and take notice when I was behind the wheel. I loved cars. I wanted to be in the car. I wanted to be at the wheel. My dad and my brother had this little trick. They liked to take each other for a ride. One would drive, one would ride the trunk and listen to the pipes. And that's when I realized that I liked that sound too. When I was a little kid, the road in front of our house became concrete in the mid-50s. And that is where the kids from the neighboring town that had the hot rod cars discovered it as a good place to drag race. You can barely see in the background behind that tree. My sister and I learned to identify the cars that were coming up the hill by the sound of the pipes or even the engine. We could recognize a 6-cylinder Chevy with a split manifold from a V8 Chevy. We knew the difference. And the Ford, we could tell the difference. We got interested then in who had the best car, and that's the fellow you wanted to chase after for a little bit and see if, for one thing, if he'd let you drive his car. It was just a fun time to be alive, and cars were a huge part of it. The car culture, we didn't grow up in California where it started, but we sure got a handle on it when it came our way, and we did not let go. And I still haven't, because I love this old Cadillac. I've had more fun in that car than anything other than didn't involve my kids for all these years. And by the way, this car involves my kids because they built it for me.
I had an old dune buggy a guy was wanting to trade me. He had 2 Cadillacs, all apart. And this one was actually a parts car for the other car. This one was really rusty and not nice. But when I got this home, she liked it so much that instead of junking it or piecing it out, we did a little paint job on it and got the thing running and gave it to her.
He has since said if he'd have known it was going to turn out so good and I would love it so much that he'd have done a better job on it, but he couldn't do anything that I would like any better than just the way it is.
We really didn't do much of a restoration. We'd painted the old car and original interior, and it looks it. It started out as a 454, so we put a 1/4 inch of stroke in it and bored at 30, so that makes a 489 cubic inch. It's got a hydraulic roller cam, Edelbrock heads and intake, the Sniper EFI, 700 R4 transmission, MSD ignition, standard old stuff, nothing special. It's not beautiful by no stretch, but it's very functional. We dynoed the engine. It made 530 horsepower on pump gas.
I think he started on it maybe 9 years ago, and he regretted they didn't get it done sooner, but I think the timing was perfect because I could not have any more fun in this car than I've had. If I'd have had it 10 more years, it's been awesome. When I turned 40, I wrote a song titled Today I Turned 40, and so next year on my 80th birthday, I think I'm going to release my song Today I Turn 80. It seems to me that at my point in life, as old as I am, that the good Lord left me here for this season of foolishness, which I have found with this old car, and that is at car shows and burnout contests. I had no idea that I would ever get into that, although I've done more than my share of burnouts.
Maybe 4th grade or something, Mom got a new Buick and we took it back to the dealer because the clutch was chattering on the thing because she was a woman or whatever. He's like, it's fine, there's nothing wrong with it, you just need to learn how to drive it or something. She put that thing all the way on the floor and then dumped that clutch and did a burnout all the way out of that place. That's when I knew she was my kind of car girl.
My first Burnout was in Bunker Hill, which is about 10 miles from here. The second one I went to was that same place in September of 24. It wasn't any wind, and the smoke went straight up in a tower, I bet 60 feet in the air. I like to entertain, make people smile, and that Cadillac makes people smile. People see the white hair, the white car, the crazy old lady, and the white smoke, and they just go crazy. I grew up in the state of Illinois, across the river from St. Louis. Everywhere we went on Route 66 to get started. Springfield, grandparents lived in Chicago during the summer and south to the caves in Missouri and beyond. It was just part of our lives. But even still locally, we can get on old parts of 66, and I do that often in the Cadillac, just go for a little cruise, and it's very nostalgic. Due to the fact, for one thing, that I usually ride with the windows down because that's how we traveled as kids. I mean, you hear crickets, you hear frogs in the ditch as you pass by, and that stirs that in me, the nostalgia. This past June, my son Jamie that built the car and I decided that we would go to California. And we went on Route 66 as long as we could. I wanted to see the ocean again in Santa Monica, the pier where it ends, and James wanted to see Grand Canyon. We had some really good times. 9 days, 4,200 miles, 400 gallons of gas, 80, 90 miles an hour with the windows down. The trip to California itself, just the two of us chit-chatting all the way, well, I'll never forget it, and I don't think you will either. I think the beauty of the car, the compliments to me are really touching because it reflects on Jamie and what he did with the car, because it was a pile. And to make it look like it does, for anybody, they just admire it and love it and they enjoy seeing it. It makes them happy.
Our whole family, really, it's just kind of what we was into, was like car stuff. That old Pontiac I got, me and Dad built that back in 1993, and I actually started a shop, and that's what I've done ever since. It's just build old cars.
I think symbolically this car assures me that I have arrived somewhere. I'm not sure where, but I like where I am. We never had a Cadillac. When it came out, it was a sign of success, and you had enough money to buy a Cadillac. We did not. Maybe there was a hole there. Maybe I wanted a Cadillac. We couldn't get one. I don't know. I feel like my kids they're all well. My responsibilities are fulfilled. It's just a perfect time for me to be able to receive the rewards I don't deserve, but I'm finding that I have. It's my quiet place, I guess my happy spot. It's easy for me to feel that. Those seats are like sitting on a sofa. It's just a total relaxation. I love it. I think that is part of what draws me in, is I can get in this car and forget everything. When I drive out the driveway, as soon as I get up that first little hill, I can feel the muscles in my shoulders let go. It's like, this is the place for me right here. And I don't have to do anything else. I don't even have to cook. Isn't that great?